I'm Navbar Nerd, and another tutorial today, but instead of JavaScript and React, we're going to go away from that stuff for a while and just do something really simple. So in this tutorial we're going to be covering creating like a loading animation with CSS, and that's it really. So a loading bar going across the Navbar element and just like a sort of pulsing circle animation as well with CSS. So without further ado, let's get on with it, let's crack on. Okay, so let's do this. So go create banner with animation. I'm just going to create a blank project. I want to create a new HTML file, HTML5, index.js, which is where we'll put our demo things, and then I want to create a new style sheet. Just call it main.css. Why break with convention, as it were. And then I want to import my CSS in. So I want to put my CSS, which is just called main in this example. It's not another folder, so just get rid of that. Just put it all, keep it simple. So I'm going to create my CSS. So we want to create our navbar first. So we'll call this navbar. Give it a width 100% because you want it to be like a navbar, of course. Height 60 pixels. And background, just a background color. So keep it really simple at the minute. I've gone black. Then I want to create our navbar loader. Load. So these dots here mean it's a class within the CSS, which we'll reference in the HTML. So I'm going to go background red. Give it background color red. I want to give it a width of 100 for first, but we'll change that later. When you have the animation, just so I can see where it is. And height, maybe 10 pixels. Okay, let's go back to our index. In the body, we want to do div class equals navbar to reference that. See, it pops up there in the autocomplete, which is nice, what we want. And then below that, I'm going to put div class equals navbar load hyphen load. And then I want to open it up. Yeah, and there we have the basic setup. Okay, so that's like a dummy mock-up navbar and a dummy mock-up loading div element underneath. So now we want to basically make it so it actually does something, so it loads, so it has that look of loading. So let's do that. We're just going to add some keyframes. I'm in the wrong course. So we need to add these. We need to basically add an animation, but for that we need to define some keyframes in CSS. So let's add keyframes. Call it anything. I'm going to call it load because that's just nice and easy to remember. 0%. So this is at 0% of the time. We want to do this. We want to make it width nothing, basically. So to give it that effect of going over like this. Nope, don't need that. Still in JavaScript mode, I guess. Width 100%. Bada bing, bada bosh. Okay, so what do we want to do next? We need to add the animation to the actual thing we want to have present with the loading animation. Load, we're going to make it 3 seconds. We're going to make it linear, and we're going to make it just loop so it goes on. If you can set it so it various ways, but we want to do it so it just loops forever basically, so really infinite. Okay, I'll open this up again. Yeah, and now you see how we have a loading bar below the div element. It just loads forever and ever and ever and ever. It'll just do that forever. It's taking 3 seconds to complete, which is what we want. That's all good and funky. And now next thing we'll do is basically I'll just show the next little thing, because I've done a code pen for this a while ago. So a sort of generic content loader. So it's like a pulsing, maybe for a page loader or something, you'd want to create something like this. We'll call it pulse. So let's do that. Okay, so now we want to create our sort of like pulsing star animation I just showed. So let's do that. Create a new class called, I'll call it pulse pulse load. Just call it something like that, I guess. I'm going to create height. Let's create the height again first, of course. To give the box a height, I'll make it quite big for this example, so I'll make it 300 pixels. Width 300 pixels. Background color can be just stick with the red, I think. And then I want it centered in the page, so we go margin auto, margin left, sorry, auto, which centers it in whatever div it's within, basically. What did I just do? Margin right or left? Margin right, okay, margin left. Margin right. Auto. And don't misspell margin like that. Got a real thing for misspelling words sometimes in these tutorials. And then just for some nice oh yeah, and I want to give it, oh it's a circle, so I need to give it a border radius of 50%, which basically makes it a circle. Alright, I think the next thing I'll do as well is, on this example I'm working from, I've created some box shadow which basically creates like a glowing shadow around it. So let's do that. I'll just copy and paste this across. So that should give it a white shadow. And now let's try adding that into our HTML. I won't do anything yet, but let's just see if it looks right. Copy this. It was pulse load, wasn't it? Pulse load. Pulse load. I missed. ThinkPad keyboards aren't the best, really. Okay. Oh, I don't know why that's happening, but we've got the basic shape of that now. I just need to move it because it's probably want to do just create some sort of div class wrapper. And I'll just put that here. Unless, of course, I've accidentally copied something across. No. I'll create a wrapper class at the top just so it makes sense in the way it's nested. Wrapper. Height, I'm going to call it 600. Width 100%. Bada bing, bada bosh. Now it should be separated from that, I think. Interesting. It's a bit confusing. Why is it doing that? Oh, right, okay. Let's close this. There we go. That was my bad, I just didn't close the element correctly. So now I've got two separate, and I also had a margin at the top for the wrapper. Margin top, and I'll make it quite a bit, 2M. There we go. So now we've got like a loading animation there. Now we want to add the pulse for this, the pulsing animation for the main like sort of loading transition, if you want. So let's do that. So again, we're just using the keyframes basically, but in this case, we want to change the this. So we've got the box shadow here. We want to make it small, smaller and bigger to give it that sort of glowing effect. So this is how we're going to do this. Create a new keyframes animation. Call it pulse, and then we're going to define our what's going to happen during this animation. So here we go. Select box shadow, copy, just paste that. So we copy it in, and then we want to make it 0 at first, and also I need to do 0%. Start from 0%. Let's be 0. We'll probably want to. We'll do 70 and 100. Oh come on! I hate this keyboard. It's half what I do on this is moan about. I have to, because I have to like basically plug in my camera. I have to sort of what was I going to say? I have to sort of like kneel, arch over like this. Anyway, basically what am I doing? So 0% is nothing for the glow. 70% is 100. So and then we'll do 70% is 70. Sorry, and then at 100% it's going to be at the maximum size, which is 100 in this instance, not 7,100. That would be a bit extreme. I can probably show you can do crazy stuff like that as well. And then I want to copy this. It's the same sort of. I'm going to change this because it's pulse now. The keyframes, it's these keyframes for the animation, and probably make it maybe 5 seconds. I want to make it also infinite as well. Hopefully this will work. Yeah, so you can see it's sort of, oh, it's white, isn't it? So I need to change it from white actually because it's it just doesn't look right being white. Maybe make it, I don't know, blue. This should stand out then. Okay. So you can see it's got a sort of inner glow there. Oh, inner glow. Something there. Where we really want is the outer shadow to forget this part. So you'll see that now. Before it's set to inset, that was my bad. It's just now we've got like a sort of blue shimmering. It goes bigger. We can make it really. We could go really crazy and make it like 500 if you really wanted to. 500, 250, 0. That sort of gives you an idea of what you can do with it. This new one. So let's open it up. Makes it really big there. So yeah, you've got like a. I mean, these are very simple, sort of like really just prototypal things that you could mess around with, I guess. Probably want to move this. I mean, it's just you could also create like a border as well, maybe on it. But there's loads of different things you could do. That basically gives you some idea of like what you could do with that. Oh yeah, if you enjoy my videos, please make sure to subscribe. I would like to get my subscriber count up so it could be a bit better. If you enjoy it, let me know. If there's anything I can do better, let me know. Cool. Peace out.